So, guys, one of the things that has become abundantly clear to me is that the media, the Democrats, the Never Trumpers, and the Republican Party have a symptom, a condition called Trump derangement syndrome. You've probably seen it, you've probably heard about it, but it is an insatiable desire to destroy him, tarnish him, to try to eradicate any influence from the MAGA agenda, from obviously Donald Trump. And so we've seen every sort of tactic, whether it was he's a misogynist, he's a rapist, he's a xenophobe, he abused his powers as the president in his first term, impeached Trump, put him in jail, facing over 250 years in federal prison, state prison, continues to come out unscathed. And then he was almost taken out on two separate occasions. And I'm sure there are plenty of people who were coordinating and conspiring that to happen. If you think it was just a singular person who tried to assassinate President Trump, it's a delusion. So anyway, these people have committed themselves, regardless of the ethics, regardless of the legality, to destroy him. Okay, so we've seen in the last, I don't know, 6-7 months, the obsession of the Democrats with the Epstein files, and a few people who hate Trump in the Republican Party too. And of course, now Trump signed the authorization to release the Epstein files. And you're not hearing anything about that. I find that kind of curious. Where is the obsession? And, there's an obvious reason for that. Tons of people who they have aligned themselves with are the ones who actually conspired with Jeffrey Epstein. I think that's very clear. So on to the next hit job. Okay, so now we're seeing people in the Democrat Party. We have the seditious six individuals who basically came out. Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, used to be a NASA guy, an astronaut, and really reputable individual, calling for the military to disobey any illegal orders given by Trump, right? Of course, they never specified any illegal orders. They just blatantly put that out there, trying to provoke sedition, and that's what it is, sedition. Now you have a guy, Senator Warner, who's a Democrat, literally calling for the military to disobey Trump. Okay, I mean, we've already seen the soft coup they tried to do with the Russian collusion hoax, right? They peddled a fake, phony dossier with the intelligence community, conspired with the DNC, conspired with the media to try to legitimately remove President Trump, a duly elected president, by creating a completely fictitious narrative that he conspired with the Russians, which has been proven to be a complete bogus, fake narrative. And I could go on and on. It's honestly it's at a point now where it's incredible that there are individuals who continually believe these things, but it shows you the power and the influence of the media. People come under mass delusion. It's really a mass hypnosis when you hear things repetitiously from outlets who stake their claims on being purveyors of the truth, like the media, which in reality, and we've talked about this, and you hear it if you're willing to listen to it, these people have no desire to peddle the truth. They have every incentive to fall in line with the people who pay them, who hate Trump, because they consider him an existential threat to their power, their influence, and their money. So let's think about this now, okay? So now we're seeing, President Trump has authorized the War Secretary, Department of War, I should say that, no longer the Defense Department, Pete Hegseth, who's the Secretary of War, to begin blowing up narcotic ships from Venezuela. I believe it's near the Gulf. Maybe I'm not quite sure. No, it would be the Gulf. But somewhere in the ocean, right? Okay. So they've been blowing up these ships and carrying mass amounts of fentanyl and other drugs that have been shipped into, or going to be shipped into America that potentially and would kill thousands of Americans, okay? Now, they're saying what Trump is doing is unlawful. He should get congressional approval to blow these ships out of the water because that is what the president should do, right? And which is okay. So Congress, according to the Constitution, is the only one that can authorize, war. Okay, you have to go through Congress. But let me just tell you what every president before Donald Trump has done the last, 50, 60 years. They've invoked their Article 2 privilege as the commander-in-chief, and they've waged military operations, kinetic military operations all throughout the world. It's just a fact. Let's talk about Barack Obama, since he's the pristine, above reproach Democrat who just is hailed as perfection, embodied perfection. So Barack Obama, let me just say this very succinctly, okay? He waged kinetic airstrikes, drone strikes in 7 different countries, okay? Let me get this right. We have Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Pakistan, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen. 7 different countries during his 8 years as president. Over 3,797 drone deaths, okay? We also have 324 to 807 civilian deaths, okay? Due to his authorization of these things as the president. And by the way, none of this was approved by Congress. None of it, okay? The estimate in 2016 alone, because they were waging war with ISIS and other groups in the Middle East, over 26,000 deaths due to President Obama's authorization of the military to engage in kinetic operations. It's just, guys, shut it off. Now, there can be a debate on how much authority the president has embraced and taken, really, commandeered the last 50, 60 years. But there's been a precedent that's been set. And the drug cartel, Donald Trump, designated them, as terrorists. And you can argue again, there's a debate to be had about how much power the president has taken regarding, invoking, war and military and kinetic operations. But to sit here and say, and the Democrats who are literally peddling and trying to promote sedition and a coup here in this country, literally telling military members to reject, disobey Donald Trump, is not just hypocritical, guys, but in my opinion, it's borderline seditious. And the fact of the matter is, we have to, the more we just say this as regular individuals, as in many ways, we are the media now. Independent journalists, independent people who get on social media platforms and divulge the truth and expose the fallacies. And that's what we have to continue to do. Because President Trump, and you can debate again how much power a president should have, but the fact of the matter, he's doing nothing that his predecessors didn't do, and didn't do in large numbers. Think about this. Barack Obama is the very definition of what these Democrats and never-Trumpers are trying to define Trump as. A tyrant who's killing people without congressional approval. How dare he? Barack Hussein Obama, man. Public enemy number 1. All right. That's all I got for tonight, guys. Peace.